All right, today I'm going to take you through the top 5 UFC fights, in my humble opinion, that took place in the UFC's Octagon. 2024 was a great year for the company. They were all over the world, and if you're a fan, you were treated to some incredible fights. But still, I'm talking for long enough. Let's get into the list. Number 5, Israel Adesanya taking on Dricus du Plessis. This went down at UFC 305 in Perth, Australia. Now, the storyline coming into this one was, can Israel Adesanya reclaim the throne, become the champion of the world again by taking out Dricus du Plessis, who taken the belt off Sean Strickland, who beat Israel Adesanya in the first place, okay? So that was the storyline, and of course, styles make fights. Israel Adesanya, with his tall 6'4" frame, the kickboxing acumen and skill that he has, the way he picks people apart, and the way that he defends takedowns. Would Dricus du Plessis be able to beat this guy with his herky-jerky style? Will he be able to walk him down? Will he be able to fluster him? Will he be able to beat him? Well, of course, we all know the answer was yes. Of course, Israel Adesanya had his moments, but Dricus du Plessis walked him down, and he did look a little off rhythm, a little clumsy at times, if you will. And people like to say that about Dricus du Plessis. This man is an incredible fighter. 22 wins, 2 losses, and 20 finishes. He's finished almost everybody in the UFC, including Israel Adesanya. In the 4th round, he rocks him with a left hook. He was kind of switching stances as he did it, hit him with a series of jabs. Israel Adesanya kind of turns his back, runs away, chases after him, throwing shots, level changes perfectly, gets the double leg takedown, instantly transitions to the back, and gets the rear naked choke. Now, of course, he'll be rematching Sean Strickland coming up very soon in Sydney, Australia. Once again, cannot wait for that one. But well done to Dricus du Plessis. The man was able to do something to Israel Adesanya that no man has been able to do. And let's be honest, everybody that has fought Israel Adesanya, that has always been the game plan, unless, of course, your name is Alex Pereira.
Khama.
All right, moving on to number 4. Now, maybe there's a little bit of recency bias in this one, or maybe it's because he's a mate of mine. Now, I'm talking about Cub Swanson versus Billy Quarantillo. This went down in the last UFC event of 2024, Tampa, Florida, where Colby Covington was soundly defeated by Joaquin Buckley. However, the co-main event in-stepped Cub Swanson, a true pioneer and OG of the mixed martial arts scene. The man has fought under the Zuffa banner for 17 years and was 41 years old. Cub Swanson has put on tremendous displays of mixed martial arts violence and action over the years, and going up against Billy Q, he certainly got off to a fantastic start. He looks like Cub Swanson in his prime. In the younger years, he was quick, he was slick, his hands were low, he was picking right hands, he was picking him apart. He was almost landing at will, and it looked like he was destined for a quick, easy night at the office. However, Billy Q, this is not a man to underestimate. And of course, in the second round, started finding the rhythm, finding the range, but more importantly, finding the chin. And it didn't matter what he was landing, whether it was a jab, a right hand, or a knee to the face, which he did do on a couple of occasions. One knee in the second round kind of wobbled Cub Swanson, and that's what you want to see in a great fight. You want to see back and forth action. One guy that goes out and completely dominates another person, that doesn't make a great fight. That makes a great performance. That gives you a performance bonus backstage by the bosses, okay? But a great fight has to have back and forth action, and that is exactly what we saw. The crowd in Tampa were losing their minds. Billy Q showed up, but in round 3, that right hand that I talked about got the job done once again for Cub Swanson. A nice little left hook that landed on the money. It was just a feeling out process though. So, whoom, fired the right hand straight down the barrel, found the chin, sat him down. That was it. Out for the count. Billy Q fell back. It was like timber. Down he went. He stood over him. The referee stepped in. Cub Swanson didn't even have to follow up. And he's a good dude, so he doesn't want to hurt the guy unnecessarily. Cub Swanson, Billy Quarantillo. What a fight. What a way to round out 2024. Number 3, Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr. Now, no list on 2024 is going to be complete without Potan on it. The man took over the sport in 2024. 3 successful title defenses, all by way of knockout. And the one against Khalil Rountree Jr. is the one that I enjoyed the most because, of course, we love to see great displays of mixed martial arts action. We love to see the knockouts like he landed on Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska. They were fantastic. But to be the hammer and the nail, to lose a couple of rounds, to still stay composed and then come back, get revenge and get a knockout in the 4th round, That is stuff from movies. That is what inspires people. That's what makes fighters watching stuff like that want to improve their skills. It was a beautiful performance from Khalil. He started off, he was redlining the engine, using a lot of gas to go in and out extremely fast, catching Pereira with a few shots here and there, landed a head kick, stumbled him a couple of times, might have even dropped him, but it didn't matter. Pereira was never looking panicked. He was always composed. He was never particularly hurt, although he was down on the scorecards. But of course, that changed. In round 3, he started picking him apart, started landing the shots, started doing some damage. And the damage on the face was starting to build. I mean, the blood was just pouring out of the face of Khalil. And by the end of it, I mean, it was like, come on, referee, save this man.
He does.
In round 4, he had him backed up against the fence, and the finishing combination was like something from a video game. He hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, and then eventually finished to the body, sat him down, that was it, and Alex Pereira is still the champion of the world. Number 2, Benoit Saint Denis versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier in what was possibly one of the best performances that we've ever seen from Dustin Poirier. This went down UFC 299, Miami, Florida. Benoit Saint Denis was tearing through the division, and this was a big opportunity. If he could have beat Dustin Poirier, the man would be fighting for a belt, and it looked like that's what was going to happen. He walked out there, he paid Dustin Poirier absolutely no respect. Walked him down, cracked him in the face, got him in the tie clinch, punished him with knees, shot double leg takedowns. Dustin Poirier jumped for the guillotine.
Don't be silly, jump the gilly.
That's what he did several times. Of course, Benoit Saint Denis escaped, took the back, almost choked him out. Dustin would escape again, and then the fight would restart the exact same way. Tremendous pressure from Benoit Saint Denis, and an incredible display of heart and will from Dustin Poirier. Some of the shots that he ate, some of those knees flushed to the mush. They would have finished lesser opponents, but Dustin Poirier stayed in the fight, continued to jump the gilly. Didn't get it, but he did see the second round. In the second round, Ben was like, we're going to pick up exactly where we left off. Got straight in his face once again, throwing punches with reckless abandon, focusing more about the offense and forgetting about the defense. And when you fight someone like Dustin Poirier, a man that's been in there with the best people on the planet, people like Conor McGregor, of course, you got to be careful. You got to keep the chin tucked and the hands high. But Benoit was getting a little bit reckless. He left an opening, and boom, one left hook from Dustin Poirier sits him down. Benoit jumped straight back up, but Dustin Poirier smelled the blood, went for the finish, and unloaded with a beautiful barrage. And one big right hook sat him down for good, and another follow-up, crushing right hand, and that was that. I'm telling you, I was watching this fight. I was on the edge of my seat. It was some of the most entertaining 2 rounds of MMA action you are likely to find. Dustin Poirier, once again, unbelievable what this man's done in his career. Of course, after that, he went on in an unsuccessful title fight against Islam Makhachev. But I'm telling you, that fight right there, that should be in the Hall of Fame one day. For both of them, Benoit Saint Denis was incredible, and Dustin Poirier, you can never count this man out. And that brings us to number 1, the best fight of 2024. This one had it all. The event, UFC 300. The bonuses, $300,000 a piece.
300, it's done.
And of course, Max Holloway moving up to lightweight. I am, of course, talking about Max Holloway versus Justin Gage. What an incredible fight this was. The storyline coming into this one, of course, Max Holloway, one of the greatest featherweights we've ever seen, and the man's never been knocked out. He's got a legendary chin, and going up against Justin Gage, a man that was cruising towards a title fight with Islam Makhachev, he was going to go through Max Holloway. Could Max Holloway take the shots of a Justin Gage? Could he stop the wrestling? What was this guy doing? He's sacrificing his career. Well, guess what? That's not how it went down. You already know this is going to be one of the most watched fights of 2024. What a performance this was. Now, Max Holloway, for the most part, shut down Justin Gage. He picked him apart. He stayed on the outside. He used the range. He used the footwork. He used the spinning back kicks as Justin Gage was trying to crowd him at the end. Almost wobbled him and knocked him out at the end of round 1 with the spinning back kick. And then he continued. Listen, Justin Gage had his moments. He landed some decent leg kicks. He, of course, cracked him with some right hands, some left hooks, but it wasn't enough. And it seemed like we were destined for a decision until Max Holloway pulled the classic. You know what happened. We've already seen it. They both stood there. They both threw down. They both traded. They both gave us everything that we want to see from mixed martial arts. And of course, it ended with Max Holloway successful and Justin Gage unconscious, face down on the canvas, which is something that we never thought we'd see happen. And certainly not from somebody like Max Holloway, that was traditionally more of a volume striker, somebody that wears people down before he gets the finish, not a true one-punch knockout artist. Well, guess what? Max Holloway at 155, this man is different. That is my list for 2024. That is my favorite fight, maybe the best performance, maybe the most shocking finish that we've ever seen in the UFC. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of my list. And that's about it. Subscribe and like the video. I appreciate you. Leave a comment down there, and I will see you soon.